Now on 4 News Now at 6, for the first time in almost a decade, someone has died from the measles in the U.S. Why local health experts are on high alert tonight.
Plus, it was nothing but bright blue skies across the inland northwest today. I'll let you know if this spring-like weather is here to stay in your first alert forecast. A longtime downtown owner says things are getting better on the streets around his business. We'll show you the one major frustration he still has and why he feels like he's being taken to the cleaners with the city's response. You're watching 4 News Now at 6.
We begin tonight by looking at the measles outbreak happening in Texas, where one child has now died from it. There's another unrelated outbreak in New Mexico. Thanks for joining us. I'm Derek Dice.
And I'm Kirsten O'Connor. Healthcare experts warn that more cases could pop up across the country. We now know the Texas child was unvaccinated.
I didn't expect to ever take care of measles patients in my career in any meaningful way. It seems like something from the past.
Now, despite the measles vaccine being readily available since the 1960s, we've seen more parents choosing not to get their kids vaccinated. In Spokane County, only 86% of kindergartners received a measles vaccine during the 2023-2024 school year. That's according to the Washington Department of Health. The measles vaccine is one of the M's in the MMR vaccine. The rates are a little bit lower in Idaho, where 79.6% of kids in that age group have been vaccinated, according to the CDC. While those numbers may seem high, the CDC says it's actually lower than the national average of 92.7%.
Madeline Mullins explains why these numbers are declining and why doctors are concerned of a measles outbreak in the inland northwest.
Vaccination rates are not the only numbers that are changing. Exemption rates across the country for these vaccines are on the rise as well.
Keep our whole population healthy, we need to have a certain high rate of vaccination in order to not have these outbreaks of some of these illnesses we're seeing.
95%. That is the number of people who need to be vaccinated in a community for there to be herd immunity against measles. These numbers fall well below that. In the 2023 to 2024 school year, just above 90% of kindergartners in Washington were up to date on the MMR vaccine, and in Idaho, below 80%. Doctors attribute this in part to an increase in exemption rates. In Idaho, 14.3% of kindergartners are exempt from one or more vaccines, and in Washington, 4.8%. Idaho allows for vaccine exemptions for medical, religious, and personal reasons.
It's always scary when a child dies of a vaccine-preventable illness. And I think there is sometimes a belief that now that we are more mature in technology, we can save kids from anything. And unfortunately, that is just not the case.
Doctors worry that with a growing distrust in vaccines, more and more people will get measles, saying when an unvaccinated child gets measles, it doesn't just impact them, it impacts the other students who are immunocompromised.
So our only way to protect our friends at school who are going through those things is to be vaccinated ourselves so we don't bring it into them.
If you're curious about how your child's school fares and vaccine rates, you can check it out on our website at kxly.com. In studio, I'm Madeline Mullins, 4 News Now.
All right, Madeline, thank you. A Whitman County judge has denied the protection order against Pullman Police Chief Jake Opgennorth. The protection order accuses Opgennorth of sexual assault and harassment. The claims were made by a woman whose lawyers say previously had a relationship with the police chief. The judge ruling there was not enough evidence to grant the protection order. Opgennorth has been on administrative leave since December.
Attorneys for Bryan Kohberger, the man accused of killing 4 University of Idaho students, are asking the court to take the death penalty off the table, citing autism. Court documents show a motion was filed this week. A motion to redact or seal newly filed records was also filed Monday. As of now, the full documents were not publicly available online, and it was not immediately clear whether Kohberger has been diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder or if the defense was seeking a diagnosis.
Well, 2 men were sentenced to life in prison for a 2022 double murder in Keller. Zachary Holt and Desmonique Tensley were found guilty on 17 counts, including felony murder in Indian country and attempted murder of a federal officer. Derek Strom was in the courtroom today and heard from some of the victims' family members.
Derek, it was an emotional day in the courtroom, and the family members of Gail and Jeremy Neal got a chance to talk directly to the people responsible for their family members' murders. Their reactions ranged from sadness to outright anger. According to court documents, Gail and Jeremy Neal's murders were part of a 6-week crime spree that Holt and Tensley committed. Zachary Holt was the one who killed the Neals and fired shots at law enforcement as they tried to get away. The prosecution says Tensley was loading magazines and handing them to Holt during their shootout with law enforcement.
It was a very dangerous, volatile situation, and I'm so impressed and proud of the law enforcement officers that came together to seek and bring justice on behalf of the Neal family and the officers in this case.
One of the statements read in court today was from Jeremy Neal's son Nigel, who wrote about how his little sister won't get to grow up without their father or with their father's love. Both Holt and Tensley are also required to pay over $9,000 in restitution to the Kalispel tribe and the Colville tribe. And Holt's lawyer said in court that he plans to appeal the ruling in this case. Live in downtown Spokane, Derek Strom, 4 News Now.
Thank you, Derek. Post Falls police are still searching for the man accused of killing his ex-girlfriend's new boyfriend. Investigators believe this man, 47-year-old Jason Rook, shot and killed a man at a home on East Dorado Avenue. Rook is believed to be driving a Jeep Grand Cherokee, and he is considered armed and dangerous. If you see him or know where he is, call 911.
Love them or hate them, Lime scooters are now back in downtown Spokane. Last year, the city signed a 2-year contract to keep the e-bikes and scooters in the Lilac City. So get that app re-downloaded if you want to, and go for a little spin.
Yeah, find the discount codes. Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker joining us now. Chris, those scooters are kind of a sign of spring for some.
Yes, they are. And so is this. Look at this picture that I just got from Christine Harrington. The first flower that we have received here in the 4 News Now First Alert Weather Center. Christine spotted this buttercup along the north bank of the Spokane River out by Barker Road today. And boy, I think this buttercup knows what it's doing. It knows spring is coming, and what a beautiful day. I saw motorcycles out, people going for jogs, convertibles. I feel like spring has really sprung in the inland northwest, and we still have a beautiful sunset right now. It's 48 degrees presently in Spokane, but we did get up into the 50s for the first time since December 18th. 51 in Spokane, 52 degrees in Coeur d'Alene, 58 in Lewiston, and 55 in Ritzville. We're going to see a few more 50s on the map tomorrow, and even a couple of 60s. 4 things to know about your weather. Some patchy morning fog, otherwise mostly sunny skies, and a warming trend. It looks like the earliest we might see some changes Sunday, but that's not a slam dunk. I'll have the 7-day forecast for you coming up in just a few minutes, Derek.
All right. Chris, thank you. The ceiling of one of the oldest cinemas in Washington collapsed last night in the middle of a movie. Check this out. This is a video of the aftermath of the Liberty Cinema in Wenatchee. Investigators say there were 2 people in that theater at the time of the collapse. Thankfully, no one was injured. There's no word yet on what caused the collapse. All right, still ahead, the U.S. House of Representatives passed a bill laying out the federal government's budget for the next decade, the possible impacts it could have on Medicare and your federal student loans coming up.
Plus, we ask about the First Amendment protections this woman has to continually disrupt a meeting held by the Kootenai County Republican Central Committee over the weekend. Why one law professor says things get a little blurry when she was dragged out of that meeting.
Connect with 4 News Now on KXLY+. 4 News Now is brought to you by Move Fitness.
So you want somewhere to play? We got you. I want some tasty food? We got you. Heard you want to do some shopping? We got you. The live music is always popping at the Coeur d'Alene Casino. Coeur d'Alene Casino. Winning is just the beginning.
This tax season, you can relax. There's no tax. Walker's Furniture is covering the sales tax for you. For a limited time, we're doubling down on discounts. It's the perfect time to refresh your space and save big, so you can get the tax break you need and a deal you'll love. Plus, with no money down special financing, you can create the home of your dreams now and pay over time. This week at Walker's, where quality just costs less.
If you've been in a motorcycle accident, the stakes are often big.
Big injuries, immense pain, and huge medical bills.
That's when you call Russell and Hill.
Call 800-LAW-0842.
Andy's Heating, Cooling, Electrical guarantees to keep your home safe and warm. Your comfort is Andy's priority. From installation to repair and even preventative maintenance. Andy's Heating, Cooling, Electrical, your trusted Carrier experts since 1972.
I'm Chad Young from theeasyhomebuyer.com, Spokane and Coeur d'Alene's easiest way to sell your house fast. If you have a few moments, I hope you'll give me the opportunity to make you an instant cash offer on your home. With theeasyhomebuyer.com, we will buy your house in as-is condition with no repairs, no closing costs, and no commissions. To get your no-obligation cash offer, give us a call or visit us online at theeasyhomebuyer.com.
Pick up the phone to inquire. Call the Easy Home Buyer.
Tee off in style at Circling Ravens' top-tier golf suites. Play more than 80 famous golf courses around the world. It's a hole-in-one for all skill levels. Visit cdacasino.com for details.
Winning is just the beginning.
Next, E.T. Keanu Reeves on his excellent adventure at 60.
More zest, but 60.
Plus,
hey, E.T., I'm Tom Green, and this is E.T.'s Then and Now.
Next, watch 4 News Now at 6 and Entertainment Tonight at 7:30.
The road to the Oscars is heating up the mornings on GMA. The stars, the style, all the inside buzz on Hollywood's biggest night.
We are on the road to the Oscars.
Every morning, the countdown is on. No one does the Oscars like Good Morning America.
Welcome back. Video of a woman dragged out of a public legislative town hall meeting has many questioning the extent of free speech.
Dr. Teresa Borenpaul was forcibly removed from that meeting of the Kootenai County Republican Central Committee on Saturday. She said this was a violation of her rights. Our Alexandra Cohen-Yards took this question to the experts, and Alexandra, this is more complicated than it appears in the video.
That's right, Kirsten. The First Amendment is complicated, and it has its limitations, especially in town hall meetings. Law professors tell me that what makes this case so complicated is the integration of private entities and reasoning behind how Dr. Borenpaul was treated. This legislative town hall meeting was a public event, but was called private by the Kootenai County Republican Central Committee chairman. That is causing confusion, especially about whether Teresa Borenpaul's removal was legal.
The law is pretty clear that she can be removed from these events.
Erica Goldberg, Gonzaga University law professor and First Amendment expert, says that while one can be legally removed from a town hall meeting for legitimate disruptions, there must be a valid reason to do so.
If she hadn't been that disruptive, and they were either targeting her because they didn't like her or because of her viewpoints, then that could present a serious First Amendment problem.
Where things get a little tricky legally is how she was removed. In this video, the men carrying her out work for a private security company. The problem is you can see they aren't wearing anything that identifies them as security, which violates city code and pushes John Rumel, law professor at Idaho University, to believe dragging her out might not have been the right course of action.
You could call law enforcement just as you would if someone was in your home and was basically disrupting things, and you've asked them to leave and they won't leave. And
the controversy surrounding if these security guards were allowed to remove Dr. Borenpaul, for Professor Goldberg, the real question is why.
She has some speech rights, but she has no speech rights to repeatedly disrupt that event. But the government cannot target her and say, we don't like your viewpoint, so we're going to remove you.
Professor Rumel also emphasized Sheriff Norris not having any more representation than his badge when asking Dr. Borenpaul to leave might have added to the chaos. There is an ongoing private investigation from the Sheriff's Office and another criminal one from the Coeur d'Alene Police Department. We will continue to give you updates on both of those as they come. For now, reporting live in studio, Alexandra Cohen-Yards, 4 News Now.
It was a beautiful day in Cheney, and the kids at Anchored Homeschool Co-op were certainly enjoying the sunshine, and I enjoyed visiting them with them today. They've been studying weather in their earth science class with Mrs. Neal and had a lot of good questions about the weather for me. I'll be back with your 7-day forecast.
And before we head to break, here's a preview of what's coming up tomorrow on Good Morning Northwest.
For the next week, you can eat local and get a great deal while you're at it.
Tomorrow, I'll be live here at Chaps to tell you all the details on Good Morning Northwest.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
More Americans choose ABC News, America's #1 news source.
One sandwich that says, "This guy appreciates wild-caught Alaskan fish." And a second that says, "This guy would like another sandwich." 2 for $6.99. Arby's, we have the meat.
If it warms you up, cools you down, connects you, entertains you, if it fries it, freezes it, cooks it, curls it, dries it, washes it, lights it. With humble beginnings in Airway Heights and Cheney, we're now also serving Northern Idaho. And when electrical is the problem, you need Holiday. Fixed Rider is free. Holiday heating, cooling, and electric.
I'm Mark Peterson, the Extreme Team and Horizon Credit Union, ready to take on our next job. If you know of a project that needs an Extreme Team makeover, go to KXLY.com to nominate it. Our thanks to Horizon Credit Union for sponsoring the 4 News Now Extreme Team.
A new year and a new adventure with the perfect Chevy to take you anywhere. With pure power unleashed and future-forward technology. Because every mile matters and every path leads to new possibilities. Get $3,250 total cash allowance on this Silverado. Plus, current Chevy owners get an additional $2,500 total value when you trade in an eligible vehicle. See your hometown Chevy dealer today.
Celebrate 30 years of winning at the Kootenai Casino with exciting promotions including daily hot spins, a special St. Patrick's Day drawing, and anniversary cash and bonus play giveaways. Ready to get away this March? Stay Sunday through Thursday at the Kootenai Falls Lodge for just $59 per night, or a Riverview room for $79 and get a free $30 Kootenai credit included. Come stay and win at the inn. Call 888-YOU-ARE-LUCKY or visit KootenaiRiverInn.com.
Pick 2 of Arby's beef and cheddar and crispy fish sandwiches for $6.99. It's surf and turf, reef and beef, the old bovine and brine, sea milk and land cookies, the old Arby's. We have the meat.
Welcome back. If you've been enjoying our beautiful spring-like weather, and why wouldn't you be, we have more of it on the way.
So many people talking about a serotonin boost today. The big question is, are we done with the snow for good? Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker here to give us more details.
Oh, I have been here long enough to know you don't really count the snow out until you're deep into May. You never know what could be lurking. But in the short term, yes, we are. Our high today, 51 degrees, 43 is our average high, and we started off at 31, also above average. Our sunset these days, 5:31, so you have a nice long time to enjoy this beautiful weather. Meanwhile, let's take a look at our current conditions. We've already dropped to 48 and partly cloudy skies in Spokane. That's the view US 2 out at Fairchild, looking to the west. A little bit of a sunset there. It's clear in Coeur d'Alene, and we've already dropped to 40 degrees. We're going to start the day off tomorrow with some patchy fog and areas of freezing fog, but it will not be around for long. No match for the sunshine this time of year, heading up to a high of 54 degrees. 43 is our average high, so even warmer tomorrow, and it looks like we could warm up even more Friday into Saturday. On our satellite and radar right now, we have a ridge of high pressure in place, not especially strong yet, so it's allowed a few clouds to drift through to filter our late day sunshine, but this ridge is going to build through the weekend. We're going to get warmer Thursday, Friday. It's going to stick around for Saturday. Starting Sunday, we're going to start to see some changes, an area of low pressure off of the Pacific diving down into California, and we'll be right on the edge of that system. So it will likely send us a few clouds, possibly some showers as early as Sunday. More likely that will hold off until Monday, and even at that will likely not amount to much. And we're going to cool things down closer to average. our high temperature trend. This white line is our average high way down here. We're going to be up in the 50s for the next 4 days. And today was the first day, by the way, that we've made it into the 50s since December 18th. Then we are going to drop down into the mid 40s by Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. And the extended forecast, March 6th through the 12th, still a signal of below average temperatures for that first to second week of March and above average precipitation. We are right in the heart of the snowpack building time, so that's actually good news. We'll get some more snow in the mountains, some showers down in town, possibly with some snow mixed in. And in the meantime, we won't even think about that. We're going to figure out what to do with 3 spectacularly spring-like days. Hopefully you'll get a chance to get out and enjoy it sometime over the next 3 to 4 days before we start to see some changes. Kirsten.
All right, thank you, Chris. Republicans are working to create a budget that can clear both chambers of Congress. That's after the House passed a resolution last night with just 1 Republican voting against it.
The plan includes both tax and spending cuts that could impact Medicare. CNN's Amy Kiley has more.
We are going to deliver the America First agenda.
A budget resolution that squeaked through the House last night could be setting up a battle over Medicaid.
Medicaid is hugely problematic because it has a lot of fraud, waste, and abuse.
The measure is not a finalized bill. It's a framework for negotiations with the Senate that's likely to get pushback in that chamber. It proposes an $880 billion reduction in health and energy programs over a decade. President Donald Trump says Medicare cuts are off the table. So moderate Republicans say it's hard to make the resolution's math work without affecting Medicaid. Their colleagues across the aisle are more blunt.
And that means not only probably throwing millions of kids off health insurance, it means also making major cutbacks for nursing homes.
The House framework also contains sweeping tax cuts.
And they want to pay for it on the backs of seniors who are living in nursing homes. They want to do it on the backs of Meals on Wheels. They want to do it on the backs of hot lunches for kids.
It's true, most seniors in U.S. nursing homes rely on Medicaid to pay for that care. But some Republicans argue changing Medicaid is not the same as eliminating its popular programs.
I'm not going to throw Granny off the cliff and people who really need Medicaid and depend upon that for their health.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Well, you may want to rethink what you'll have for breakfast because the price of eggs may not be going down anytime soon. How much more experts think you'll need to pay in the coming months? Next on 4 News Now.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Style or substance. Somehow, it became one or the other. But there is another choice. Not stopping until you have everything in the GMC Sierra. Get 0.9% APR on 2025 Sierra 1500 models. Plus, no monthly payments for 90 days.
Shop DaveSmith.com.
Individuals, couples, and families. You could get a refund of up to $1,290 back on taxes paid last year, as well as refunds for 2023 and 2022. Learn more at workingfamiliescredit.wa.gov.
There are 24,000 graduating seniors in Idaho this year. Each of you unique, powerful, independent. Each of you ready to become the next Idaho success story. That's why Idaho launches here, to see you through. Up to $8,000 for educational training. Support for jobs in hundreds of fields, so you can choose your own path. Because you invent you. Launch just helps.
All right, he's fixed. Place should be ready by game time.
Ah, sweet, man. But hey, since you're here, you want to play a quick game of horse?
I've never played before, but well, I just get into the hoop?
Yeah, something like that.
All right. Like that?
You know what? Forget the game. Show me that work you did on the furnace earlier.
Okay, yeah. Well, that was pretty good, though, right?
Let's just worry about the furnace for now.
You think I could dunk?
It's the Hard Knocks Life. Broadway's favorite orphan is back to spread hope for all the hard knocks life throws your way.
Don't miss Annie in an all-new production for the whole family, and just when we need it the most.
Tickets at BroadwaySpokane.com.
Your home is more than a place. It's a feeling, a reflection of who you are. And at the Tin Roof, we believe furniture should do more than fill a room. It should inspire it. From timeless dining tables to sofas you can sink into and decor that tells your story, every piece is thoughtfully curated to make your space feel effortlessly you. Because it's not just furniture, it's where memories are made, where comfort lives, and where life happens. It's more than furniture, it's a feeling.
Sign up for the 4 News Now playbook at KXLY.com.
Well, around the nation, a new projection has egg prices climbing much higher than what was predicted just last month.
Now, experts think our sky-high egg prices aren't going anywhere anytime soon. ABC's Rhiannon Alley explains.
New evidence that Americans are worried about prices and tariffs that President Trump has promised on some foreign goods. U.S. consumer confidence dropping, posting the largest monthly decline since August 2021. And now, more discouraging news from the supermarket.
$7.50 a dozen is absolutely ridiculous.
Egg prices are predicted to jump even more than expected due to bird flu outbreaks. The Agriculture Department now expecting prices to rise more than 40% this year, double the increase predicted just last month. Some people are deciding to raise their own chickens. Sales for chicks, hens, and coops skyrocketing.
Our business has gone up 50%. I do get people from all over California driving up as far as from San Diego, Oregon, Nevada.
But raising chickens isn't cheap. Some enclosures cost up to $15,000, and there are safety concerns.
We have had cases of avian influenza from wild birds getting into backyard chickens and from backyard chickens getting into humans.
One safety tip for chicken owners: ask any guests who may have been around other birds to remove their shoes before entering your yard. And for the rest of us buying our eggs,
The sausage burrito.
one piece of good news. McDonald's is vowing not to impose a surcharge on menu items with eggs. Denny's, Waffle House, and many other restaurants and bakeries say they have no other choice but to raise prices. Rhiannon Alley, ABC News, New York.
Still ahead, some key bills in Olympia are already dead for the year, including proposals on retail theft and free meals for students.
Coming up, we'll tell you which ones are still alive and which ones are likely done for.
And downtown Spokane has seen improvements in crime and drug use, but one ongoing issue still stands out: what a business owner says the city needs to change. Next on 4 News Now.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Do you really think you can fix this? You should have just called Andy's.
I can fix it. It's just a little...
We're freezing. You should have called Andy's.
Yeah, they have a 100% satisfaction guarantee.
Should have called Andy's.
Don't be like this guy. Call Andy's Heating and Cooling, so when the weather does this, your family does this. Go to andysheating.com for details on the 100% satisfaction guarantee. Carrier, turn to the experts.
I felt like there was just no answers to get out of the anxiety and the depression that I had.
I was suicidal all the time, thinking about it nonstop, every day, every moment.
Depression and anxiety rob millions of us of our day-to-day lives, but nothing seems to pull you out of it. Introducing NeuroStim TMS, Washington's leading provider of transcranial magnetic stimulation, or TMS therapy. At NeuroStim TMS, we treat the root of the problem with a series of short daily treatments. Using a non-invasive magnetic field, TMS activates the natural function of the brain's neurotransmitters to improve mood and regulate emotion. TMS is not shock therapy. It's an FDA-approved, easy outpatient experience and covered by all major medical insurances.
There's nothing better than just being able to enjoy life again.
The treatment just completely, fundamentally changed my life.
Visit neurostimtms.com today or call to schedule your free consultation at any of our 12 Washington state locations.
Madam President, the sale at Dimmer Mattress, it's been extended. Walk with me. We need to get the word out. Reports are still showing the more you buy, the more you save. In English, that's $100 off every 1,000 you spend. And Doctor's Choice? Save up to $300. Or get a Colorado twin made in the USA for only $149.99. I still need more.
Financing, we've got 60 months no interest and free shipping.
Now we're talking. This is an all hands on deck scenario, people. But hurry, the extended President's Day super sale at Denver Mattress ends soon.
Thursday, March 6th.
We have a possible hostage situation.
Hottest location.
There's nobody here.
911 is back.
Something's not right.
Almost nothing is right about it. As its most intense season yet continues.
Zip ties, rope,
Blood. He's a damn serial killer. And it looks like he took Maddie with him.
We're gonna find her. The 911 two-part return begins Thursday, March 6th on ABC and stream on Hulu.
Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6:30.
Well, despite city efforts to transform the Division Street corridor in downtown Spokane into a more inviting and attractive entry point, some people feel these initiatives have fallen short.
One longstanding business in that area and the owner says they've seen some progress, but not with cleaning up graffiti. Hunter Bertram's live there showing us why some say more needs to be done.
Kirsten, thousands take the Division Street exit from I-90 to downtown Spokane every day. And when they come around that turn, they're greeted, with sights such as this, graffiti on the wall and on the ground. And some say this represents Spokane in a bad light. Clark's Cleaners cleans hundreds of clothes every day. They have a loyal customer base of more than 4 decades. Its owner, Clark Kelsey, told me he hasn't given up on this part of town just yet.
Because I've got a huge investment, and it's my business.
The Cleaners is on Division Street, a few blocks from I-90. It's a hot spot for crime, drugs, and homelessness.
Through COVID and everything, it's been tough, but it's getting better. And I think it's going to get better. The cops are doing a much better job down here.
One part he says that hasn't gotten better, the graffiti.
They may think it's a minor issue, but impressions are everything.
He says when people see this, the impression they get isn't an accurate representation of the city. City code requires graffiti to be removed within 10 days, or the property owner will be fined or charged for the city to remove it. But Kelsey says he doesn't believe they're enforcing it.
But they're just not doing the job. The city's not doing their job.
I asked the city why Kelsey hasn't seen any work being done. The city tells me they're working to expand how much they can clean up daily.
It's very damaging. It's damaging for everybody. It's such a no-brainer and such an easy thing to remedy compared to other things.
Yeah, high emotions there for Clark. Now, you still may see some folks around downtown Spokane cleaning up graffiti, such as the Downtown Spokane Partnership. However, most of those services, including that partnership, doesn't extend their services to where Clark's Cleaners is. For now, live in Spokane, I'm Hunter Bertram, 4 News Now.
All right, Hunter, thank you. Spokane Police Chief Kevin Hall testified in front of the U.S. Senate about stopping the flow of fentanyl into our region. He says most of the fentanyl coming into the country comes from legal ports of entry. Chief Hall says new technology could help detect fentanyl being smuggled into the U.S. on planes, boats, or in cars.
And he's urging Congress to pass a bill sponsored by Washington Senator Maria Cantwell that aims to help detect and intercept drugs like fentanyl. Chief Hall hopes Congress will pass the Stop Smuggling Illicit Synthetic Drugs on U.S. Transportation Networks Act. This bill would provide funding for non-intrusive technology like X-rays or vapor technology to detect drugs like fentanyl at transportation hubs across the country.
This is a very complex problem. It requires complex solutions, and having all of those technologies and all of those different approaches is just going to enhance law enforcement's ability to detect and seize these narcotics.
Chief Hall says smugglers have disassembled cars to hide fentanyl in every possible compartment and then put the cars back together and send them out on the road. According to the State Department of Health, opioid deaths in Spokane have been above the state average since 2019.
All right, let's send it over to Chris Crocker now with a look at your first alert forecast.
Well, February has been an interesting month. Extreme colds, heavy snow. We've had wind and flooding and rain, and today it was is just blue skies and above average temperatures. We did have a few high clouds drifting through late this afternoon as some clouds moved over our ridge of high pressure, but they are not sticking around. Our sunshine brought temperatures up into the 50s in many locations today. Most spots for the first time this season, including Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. It was 50 in Pullman, 58 degrees in Lewiston. It's going to be even warmer tomorrow in most locations. We'll be into the mid-50s. That's more than 10 degrees above average in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. 62 in Lewiston, 60 down in the Tri-Cities, right around the Spokane area. 49 degrees at Spirit Lake, but we'll be in the mid-50s most of the rest of the region, including 54 in Meade as well as Spangle. And there's that sunshine after a little bit of patchy fog, bright blue skies, and again, that high of 54, more than 10 degrees above average. It does get even warmer in the short-term forecast. I'll tell you all about that and have some Wildlife Wednesday photos for you coming up in just a few minutes. Derek.
Chris, thank you. Those dry skies are a welcome sight after the flooding in parts of the inland Northwest last weekend. But even when the rain returns, our weather team says you shouldn't have to worry.
Yeah, meteorologist Matt Gray explains why the next big storm, when it happens, is unlikely to repeat the flooding we just experienced.
The truth is, without the burst of winter weather in the weeks that led up to these floods, we may not have had any at all. A week ago, the area around Spokane had 9 inches of snow on the ground. 7 of those 9 inches melted out over the weekend. On average, snow has a 10-to-1 relationship with liquid water. In other words, 10 inches of snow is about 1 inch worth of rain. So from Saturday to Sunday, about 7/10 of an inch of water was freed from the snow because of that rain and the temperatures. Now consider that. It also rained 7/10 of an inch over the weekend, funny enough, and you can probably see the problem. The melting snow essentially doubled the amount of water coming into our river systems all at once. In some places, the amount of water that melted was even higher than that. According to these maps from the NOAA Office of Water Prediction, parts of the Palouse saw 2 to 3 inches of water melt off on Sunday. You add that to the 1 to 1.5 inches of rain in that part of the region over the weekend, and you have flooding that is basically almost 2/3 composed of snow melt. Added up over thousands of square miles. It is an astronomical amount of water to deal with, and that's why the river gauges, they saw a rapid peak into flood stage and just of a rapid of a fall in the days that follow. Now, by comparison, the mainly mountain snowpack that remains now after this meltdown over the weekend, it doesn't get as warm, it doesn't cover as much area, and overall a lot more resilient to these mild Pacific rainstorms. So another rainmaker could show up tomorrow, and it would not have nearly the impact in the lowlands that we saw last weekend.
Well, last night, the Airway Heights community came together to celebrate the city's newest fire engine. Here's a picture of all the people coming together to push that engine into the firehouse. Prior to that, the community got the chance to wash the new engine. The city says it's all part of a ceremony that symbolizes the new engine's acceptance into service and honors the history of firefighting.
Legislators in Olympia have until Friday to send bills with financial impacts to the full House and Senate. They already faced a deadline last week to pass along policy bills.
Murrow News fellow Albert James has a look at some of the bills that didn't make the cut, what still has a chance, and how the state's projected multi-billion-dollar shortfall is casting a shadow over all of it.
A number of bills are already destined to not become law this year. Proposals on increasing penalties for organized retail theft or eluding police, putting regulations on self-checkout lanes, and establishing a committee to redesign the state flag all missed a deadline last week to stay alive. One Republican proposal to use Climate Commitment Act funds to support transportation projects as revenues dwindle never even got a hearing in the House.
I think in this time that we should be having that talk and consideration before we talk about new revenue to solve this problem within transportation, but the work continues.
Some of Governor Bob Ferguson's priorities are on track to clear a deadline Friday for bills with fiscal impacts. Bipartisan bills on increasing funding for K-12 education and establishing a police hiring grant program are slated for votes in Senate Ways and Means on Thursday.
Let us listen to one another without consideration for party so that the strongest argument prevails. That is how we do our best work.
But one priority doesn't appear to be making the cut. Ferguson requested legislation to expand free meals to all school students, with supporters saying free breakfast and lunch are crucial to student success. The bill is not scheduled for an appropriations vote, and legislative leaders say it's a good idea that comes at a bad time with the state's budget crunch.
If the bill doesn't pass out of House Appropriations on Friday, then it's not passing for the year. Given the number of competing demands we have, it's a challenge, but nothing in House Appropriations is dead until after Friday.
Before he was sworn in last month, Governor Ferguson tasked most all state agencies to shave 6% of their spending to handle the budget shortfall. He's going to present those budget proposals to the media tomorrow morning. At the state capitol in Olympia, I'm Albert James reporting.
Well, a bill in Idaho that would prevent food stamps from being used to buy candy and soda is one step closer to becoming law. House Bill 109, sponsored by Coeur d'Alene State Representative Jordan Redmond, barely made it out of committee in an 8-7 vote. If signed into law, it would require the state to seek federal approval for candy and soda to be removed from the list of eligible foods covered by SNAP. The bill now heads to the full House for consideration. All right, Gonzaga men's basketball had a big-time win over Santa Clara last night.
The Zags won by 19, a key win in the race for second in the WCC.
And the best surprise of the game was the emergence of freshman Ismaila Diane. Get to know the 7-foot big man coming up after the break.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by CARD, the Center for Asbestos-Related Diseases.
Regular visits to your local Perfection Tire can ensure your car's safety and dependability.
With factory recommended maintenance, you increase your fuel efficiency as well as maintain your vehicle's value.
Nobody beats perfection.
People from North Idaho are built for long, snowy winters.
And so are the Subarus they drive.
With symmetrical all-wheel drive, every Subaru handles winter's toughest challenges with ease. No matter how harsh the weather gets, your Subaru stays in control.
Add heated seats and advanced safety features, and you're ready for anything winter brings.
Celebrate the Subaru A Lot to Love event now through March 31st at Parker Subaru in beautiful Coeur d'Alene.
Did you know that Washington's Working Families Tax Credit could put up to $1,200 back in your pocket? If you're part of a low to moderate income household, you could be eligible for a refund designed to help you cover essentials like groceries, gas, or bills. The best part? Applying is free and easy. Visit workingfamiliescredit.wa.gov to see if you qualify. Don't miss out. Apply now and make sure you get the refund you deserve. That's workingfamiliescredit.wa.gov.
What have we got?
The Andersons. All night tossing and turning, bad backs, sleep score at an all-time low.
Round up the team.
At Denver Mattress, going undercover is literally how we solve problems.
And when we find sleepers waking up with aches and pains, we turn to the Tempur-Pedic Adapt, designed for ultimate pressure relief that uniquely adapts to your body's pressure points. The Tempur-Adapt features innovative technology, so you get deep, undisturbed rest all night long.
Denver Mattress, the easiest way to get the right Tempur-Pedic.
I've been dealing with my weight issues for all my life. I didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to stay home and just be a couch potato. I wanted to have a fresh start. Spokane Wellness Group has helped me stay on track. When I started losing the weight, then I felt more comfortable. I feel wonderful right now because I've lost 65 pounds. It doesn't take me 10 minutes to walk across the parking garage anymore. I would encourage anybody to go to the Spokane Wellness Group. They stay with you every step of the way.
Tires do more than keep your vehicle moving forward.
At Perfection Tire, we maximize your safety, fuel efficiency, and driving comfort with the right tires for you.
Quality Cooper tires, knowledgeable people. Nobody beats perfection.
Last night, Gonzaga men's basketball crushed Santa Clara in a game they desperately needed to boost their unusually shaky NCAA tournament odds right now. So they're nearly a lock for the big dance with a key road quad 1 win. And the unlikely hero of the game is this man right here, Ismaila Diane. The freshman helped Gonzaga win 95-76, their 10th win this season, scoring 90 or more. But forwards Graham Ike and Braden Huff fell into foul trouble early. Ike eventually getting 4, Huff with 3 in just 2 minutes played. Diane did a fantastic job on rim protection with a block and a steal, plus a perfect 4 for 4 from the field. Some nice dunks, too. His previous high in minutes just 9, those coming in a huge blowout over Long Beach State. Diani is a true 7-footer, over 230 pounds, and played with Real Madrid over in Spain before signing with the Zags, citing Jalen Suggs' 2021 buzzer beater against UCLA in the 2021 Final Four as his inspiration to follow and then later commit to Gonzaga. While he doesn't have the same shooting as either Ike or Huff, his fantastic debut should help the Zags manage an almost 10-man rotation with all the usual starters, plus Huff, Michael Ajayi, Dusty Stromer, and Emmanuel Innocenti. Now the Zags wait for their regular season finale at the San Francisco Dons. Dons playing at the Oregon State Beavers. That's tonight, but given they'll have that tiebreaker over Gonzaga with the 1-1 record against St. Mary's, that game actually doesn't matter tonight. Bulldogs must beat the Dons on Saturday to earn the number 2 seed in the WCC tournament. A loss ensures they'll be the 3rd. Tip-off at the Golden State Warriors Chase Center is Saturday at 8 p.m. Washington State women's basketball has had an unusual 1 p.m. start against the Pepperdine Waves tomorrow, their final obstacle to close out a strong inaugural WCC regular season. The Cougs are locked into the number 3 seed in that tournament, ensuring that they play at the 2 p.m. quarterfinal on Sunday, March 9th. Now, despite this, they still stress they want to conclude the regular season well, especially against a team they dismantled by 21 in their first meeting.
I mean, what a great situation for us. I mean, I don't know that ideally it's best to have the last week as a bye, but we probably could have used that earlier, but I think we can go in healthy and rested, and I hope improved.
The Cougs will play either the 6th, 7th, 10th, or 11th seeded team as of right now. That would be St. Mary's, Pacific, Pepperdine again, or San Diego. WSU a combined 7-0 against those teams this season. Taking a preview at Pepperdine, the Waves, oh man, they have the lowest points per game, scoring margin, free throw shooting, allowed rebounds, and turnover margin in the conference, plus the second worst team shooting percentage. The Waves have an 8-game losing streak, longest active in the conference. Cougs are going to try to make that 9 again tomorrow afternoon at 1. Spokane Chiefs back on the ice tonight against the Vancouver Giants. Chiefs enter their final 10-game stretch this season tonight, 7 of those 10 in Spokane, and they have tonight, Friday, and Saturday all this week in their home barn. Chiefs beat the Giants in overtime in their only home meeting, but they dropped both road contests. Puck drop at Spokane Arena is tonight at 7:05 p.m. So I'll be scurrying right over to the arena after the show. Chiefs highlights, plus hear more from WSU men's basketball ahead of their senior day tomorrow against San Diego. Chris, how's that warm weather looking outside?
Oh, we have more warm weather, Jack. Here are 4 things to know about your weather. We may start off with a little bit of patchy fog tomorrow morning, then mostly sunny skies, even warmer the next couple of days. Possibly some changes on Sunday. I'm going to show you why we may see those changes and have some Wildlife Wednesday photos for you after the break.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Can you believe Northern Quest let me test drive their next Mercedes giveaway?
Pretty sure they said around the block.
Figure of speech. Besides, we had to see what it could do. Look at this beauty.
It's pretty.
I especially like the front view. Come have a look.
You have a look.
Play daily to win a brand new Mercedes SUV.
Are you okay?
Why do you ask?
If it warms you up, cools you down, connects you, entertains you, if it fries it, freezes it, cooks it, curls it, dries it, washes it, lights it. With humble beginnings in Airway Heights and Cheney, we're now also serving Northern Idaho. And when electrical is the problem, you need Holiday. Fixed rider is free. Holiday heating, cooling, and electric.
This tax season, you can relax. There's no tax. Walker's Furniture is covering the sales tax for you. For a limited time, we're doubling down on discounts. It's the perfect time to refresh your space and save big, so you can get the tax break you need and a deal you'll love. Plus, with no money down special financing, you can create the home of your dreams now and pay over time. This week at Walker's, where quality just costs less.
Have you or someone you know lived, worked, or enjoyed the outdoors in Lincoln County before 2014?
If so, you've likely been exposed to Libby amphibole asbestos. 1 in 4 screened have developed an asbestos-related disease. Hope is here. The Center for Asbestos-Related Disease, CARD in Libby, provides free screenings, care, and resources to those impacted by asbestos exposure. Don't wait. Early detection is key. Get your free asbestos health screening today. Contact the CARD Clinic, comprehensive care for exposure and disease.
Oh, are you all right?
Hardly. I stubbed my toe really bad.
Ouch, I hate that. Still, we should get this beauty back to Northern Quest before they send out a search party. Wow, such chivalry.
Yeah? Must have hit my head. Oh. Oh.
Play daily to win a brand new Mercedes SUV.
More Americans choose ABC News, America's #1 news source.
With this sunny, dry weather, you've probably noticed all the car washes are very busy right now.
Yeah, Chris recommended it.
I did, yeah. Get that
They're
car
listening to you.
wash. It'll last you for several days, maybe even beyond. Right now, it is dry across the region. 48 degrees in Spokane, 40 in Coeur d'Alene. We are headed down to overnight lows below freezing, but just barely, and it won't last long. But we may see a little bit of patchy fog in the morning. Here's a look at our hour-by-hour forecast for Thursday. 39 degrees by 9 o'clock. We're in the 40s, almost 50 degrees by noon. Good afternoon to get out for a noontime walk. 54 degrees, our high temperature tomorrow. That is a little more than 10 degrees above average. And we'll keep that sunshine going through our sunset, which is now after 5:30. Taking a look at our weather pattern, the broad scale, we have this ridge of high pressure in place. A lot of people want to know, how long is this going to last? Am I going to have to get out my umbrella or my snow boots again soon? High pressure is going to keep us dry through Thursday, through Friday, through Saturday. Then we have this area of low pressure that is diving down to the south. Here's Sunday at 6 o'clock and is going to be sending us some clouds. It's going to be a little bit cooler, not a lot cooler. And then eventually we may get a little bit of very light precipitation, but the vast majority of the moisture is going to be staying to our south. So in your planning forecast, 3 days of blue skies and sunshine. We may see an increase in clouds on Sunday and just a 20% chance of showers, valley rain, mountain snow, a little bit better chance Monday, and then that tapers off. We are going to be cooler, but still above average. Long-range forecasts indicate we may have cooler and wetter weather coming as we head into next weekend, but in the meantime, enjoy those 50s and sunshine. I've got some Wildlife Wednesday photos for you. This one from Mark Boat. Now, this is a resident bald eagle. She hangs out here all year, and she is just gorgeous, and she is making a nest. Mark says that Mr. Bald Eagle was just out of sight. They are busy getting ready to have some eggs. Susie Corpay caught up with this darling little male moose calf at Turnbull National Wildlife Refuge. Right behind her, is her mama moose, just out of sight there. And finally, nothing says spring like a very fat robin. That robin has been enjoying the bounty of bugs that have popped up since our rain. This photo is from James Richmond. A lot of robins in the email inbox today. I think they're busy. Spring is sprung.
That is a round robin.
Yes, it is.
It's so cute. Thank you, Chris. Well, a new host is gearing up for the Oscars. For the first time ever, Conan O'Brien will host the 97th Academy Awards on Sunday right here on ABC.
ABC's Melissa Adon has a look at what we can expect when the biggest names gather for the biggest night in show business.
The 97th Academy Awards introducing a new host.
I've been handed an Oscar.
Comedian Conan O'Brien set to host the Oscars and already making jokes.
Host. Oh, I'm hosting? Yes. I'm an Oscar host. Exactly. Oh. but do I still get to keep the Oscar?
For the first time, the 61-year-old, best known for hosting his late-night show, will take on Hollywood's biggest night.
I think it's been 3 years since I stopped doing my late-night show, and I've been saying yes to things. It's been this time of yes.
This affirmation coming after former Oscars host Jimmy Kimmel stepped down from his hosting duties.
It's a tricky show. It's a tricky time. I'm going to give it my best shot, and if it doesn't work out, you will never see me again. You will never, ever see me again, and that's something America can look forward to. There's a lot of people out there rooting for this not to go well.
The comedian and TV host has emceed many award shows, including the Emmys in 2002 and 2006. But this show is different.
But the Oscars, it's the pinnacle. It's the one that you most look up to. It's the one you dream about hosting when you're a child. So it has great meaning for me to host the Oscars, as long as the pay is good.
Along with jokes, O'Brien says the show will be sensitive amid the ongoing recovery and relief efforts from the Los Angeles wildfires.
LA has just been through this traumatic experience. There's a lot that's happening nationally that people are very tense about. It changes day to day. And so my job right now with my writers is to create possibilities.
Possibilities the Academy says they are thrilled by. The Academy saying his brilliant humor, his love of movies, and his live TV expertise will bring viewers together. Melissa Adon, ABC News, Los Angeles.
And before we go to break, here's the look at ABC's primetime lineup tonight.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Wing Sales has huge selection and expert installation on gas, pellet, electric, and wood stoves.
For warehouse pricing, delivery, and expert installation, it's Wing Sales, safes, stoves, and more.
Visit our warehouse, showroom corner of Trent and Freya.
Fred's Appliance and 4 News Now are teaming up for the Great American Flag Swap. On March 28th, bring your old, tattered flag to any Fred's location, and in exchange, you'll receive a new flag with help from Uncle Sam's Flag and Gift. Let's thank veterans and military families who are serving.
Fred's Appliance is proud to partner with 4 News Now for the Great American Flag Swap. We honor the sacrifices of our military families and veterans. Visit Fred's Appliance today, trusted for over 60 years, where we sell appliances, only appliances.
Tonight,
your dad, he's met his match, and she's wearing a crop top.
it's Tim Allen versus guest star Jen Aufman.
Get back to work. Sorry, this is a no crazy man who spits when he yells zone.
New Shifting Gears, tonight on ABC.
I felt like there was just no answers to get out of the anxiety and the depression that I had.
I was suicidal all the time, thinking about it nonstop, every day, every moment.
Depression and anxiety rob millions of us of our day-to-day lives, but nothing seems to pull you out of it. Introducing NeuroStim TMS, Washington's leading provider of transcranial magnetic stimulation, or TMS therapy. At NeuroStim TMS, we treat the root of the problem with a series of short daily treatments. Using a non-invasive magnetic field, TMS activates the natural function of the brain's neurotransmitters to improve mood and regulate emotion. TMS is not shock therapy. It's an FDA-approved, easy outpatient experience and covered by all major medical insurances.
There's nothing better than just being able to enjoy life again.
The treatment just completely, fundamentally changed my life.
Visit neurostimtms.com today or call to schedule your free consultation at any of our 12 Washington state locations.
Bad back? Get Good Feet with the personalized arch support system from the Good Feet store. Clinically proven to provide significant pain relief in only 4 weeks. Good Feet, good life. The Good Feet store. Book your free fitting at goodfeet.com.
Wing Sales has huge selection and expert installation on gas, pellet, electric, and wood stoves.
For warehouse pricing, delivery, and expert installation, it's Wing Sales, safes, stoves, and more.
Visit our warehouse, showroom corner of Trent and Freya.
4 News Now is brought to you by Andy's Heating, Cooling, Electrical.
All right, coming up tonight on Nightside, graffiti has taken over buildings and sidewalks along a major thoroughfare that leads into downtown Spokane. On Nightside, hear the plea from a long-standing business owner who's asking the city to take more action to clean up the Division Street corridor.
Beautiful bright blue skies and temperatures in the 50s. It is going to feel like spring over the next several days with some changes coming early next week.
Yeah, 54, 55, and that's awesome compared to what we were dealing with all that ice.
No doubt about it. All right, thanks so much for being with us here for 4 News Now at 6. We hope to see you tonight at 11 for Nightside.